Good evening and hello everyone, and thank you for joining VodTalk with me here. It's your host, SABIA KHATUN. We've had a lot of adventures, and today we are going to have an adventure of fusion foods, the evolution of fusion, the concept of fusion, the melding and transcending of cultural boundaries through food. Food brings people together, sweet, sour, and spicy flavors. Instinctive understanding of foods include the way it brings people together through passion and flavoursome. It's there to share cultures, experiences, tastes of familiarity and comfort, and simply to try something new. Today, I have an exciting and exotic lineup of guests. I have with me, and I will take you over to them now. I will start with my beautiful guest, Cathy Rowland, who's joined us all the way from South Carolina. And she is a wellness coach. And so I will send you over to Cathy. Excuse me.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you for joining, Cathy. Okay, excuse me. We've just had a bit of adventure just before we started, viewers, but I'll try and not laugh too much. If I can take you over, to some of our local people in London are very familiar. They are known as the two Shahs, if I may. And I will start with the very first Shah. His name is Shahid, and his name is Abdul Shahid. He is a fusion kitchen entrepreneur, and also he has his own show where he talks about fusion food. So welcome, Abdul Shahid, on my show.
Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be on board.
Brilliant. Thank you for joining me. I'll take you quickly over to our next Shah. His name is Sharif Islam, and he's an entrepreneur, a proprietor. He's also with Fusion Kitchen, and he also has been on my show previously. He's also owner of Feast and Mishti. Some of you who reside in the UK will be very familiar with that. So welcome to Sharif Islam to my show.
Thank you for having me once again. It's always a pleasure. And I can see you got a great lineup here, all the way from across the ocean, all the way from the USA. Brilliant. I'm loving it here. So, yeah, one of the Shahs, and just wanted to say about a few things that you mentioned, Feast and Mishti. We got people from Sweden, Italy, Norway and stuff like that come and they just try our culinary repertoire, if you want to call it, and they love it. So yes, just proud to be a part of it.
Good, great. Today, the two Shahs, we are going to be looking at things beyond the beige in food, and who better than Cathy Rowland can enlighten us on what all that is about. So, Cathy, if I can start with you, that would be great.
Okay, well, I'm excited to be in this company because I unlike you two, I'm not a chef, but I do love food, and I coach on wellness. So looking beyond the beige is a way of looking at your dinner plate as if it's artwork, and add in the colors. So get rid of that boring dinner roll that Americans eat way too much of bread, and get rid of that and sub in a beautiful vegetable, some red cabbage, some, green, any kind of greens, and think of it in a new way. And if you do that, then you are fusing your food in that way, a fusion, and getting away from all of the processed that my country eats way too much of.
Yeah, who can I throw the question to? What does fusion food mean? Anyone?
Shahid, I would say Shahid, because he does most of the cooking. But I just wanted to add one little thing to Cathy's, let's say, what you just mentioned here, with regards to food. None of us are chefs.
Looking beyond the beige.
Absolutely, yes. Isn't it so nice the way I just took it from Shahid, even though I mentioned anyway? That's what I do. But yeah. So what it is
That's
with
because
food,
that's because I allow it, don't I, Shah?
with food, it's actually an artwork. What just Kathy just mentioned is none of us are chefs. But you know what? You don't need to be. As long as you've got the outlines, as long as you've got the know-how about keeping the food healthy, and the nutritional facts are there. Maybe I just use semantics there. They're both the same thing. But yeah, so it's artwork. A chef and a cook and whatever. It's all about food. Cooking is all art. So
Okay.
you can. I'm not going to take this from Shahid because I did say you're going to throw that question on him,
Well,
but I will mention something later on with regards to fusion, and I've got a really nice thing to say about fusion cooking. But Shahid,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
Thank you,
Get your head
Shahid.
up then.
Raw and natural self, Shahid. Please take it
My
away.
raw and natural self, of course. This is a first of all, Cathy, pleasure to have you on board on health and well-being. It's
Thank you.
amazing because my journey started here just over a year ago, based on health and well-being, right? And you were just talking about green, and you were talking about how food is an art, right? I started my food vlogging purely as a cooking therapy. So I didn't start it off as like a culinary cuisine. I mean, that was going to be integrated in my cooking anyway, because that's fundamental. But what other than you were talking about green? I don't know if you can. No, is that too much light?
Yes,
Can
we
you
can.
see that?
Oh,
Kochu. I don't know if you
Yes.
know what that is, right?
come to, yes.
Now,
With
I only
Kochu.
posted that 21 hours ago, and if you can see, it says motivational mind, cooking therapy around my health and well-being. So, how more green can you get, Cathy? I think it's a coincidence that you're talking about green and something away from just cooking. So, I see it as a form of a culinary cuisine, which is an art in itself, and it has to come from passion. You can't just read a recipe book and do it. The recipe books are there for us to teach and leave a legacy behind for people. But to really cook something, it has to come from the within, right? And it's been
Wow.
fantastic working with Sharif Islam. We call it Atu Shahid. We always have this argument: who will be introduced first, right? But because I see him
No,
as a
you're the
mentor, I
one
say,
with the
look,
idea.
you should.
You're
Right.
he's the one with the idea, by the way. The two Shahs idea is the fusion kitchen concept was mine, but he came
Yes.
out with two Shahs because Sharif and Shahid, and he said, the two Shahs. And Shah, by the way, it's an implication of grand somebody. The Shahs in the Mughal
Dynasty.
Empire. We used
All
to have
right.
the
The,
Right.
the
Shahs.
royals.
Yeah.
Another, another
Royals.
word
The
for
royals.
king.
Just
I mean,
briefly, if I can just let Cathy know that Shahid and Sharif have this fusion kitchen that they have together
It's a show.
create different kinds
wow.
of cuisine, and it's a show which recently started. They've completed 3 episodes. Now, what's
Yeah.
fascinating is it's the way forth. Okay, what's fascinating is, again, as Shahid mentioned, it's those organic and natural things that they pick out, and again, it's mixing other different, cultural colors and
Yeah.
flavors together to create an end product. And again, this is where, if I can pass on to Cathy, if you can tell us a bit about the wellness of the food, and how do you go about it? Or we know that you're a wellness coach.
Mhm.
How do you go about it with this fusion kind of food, or is it fusion? What is it that you use?
Can I just say, Kathy, can you just tell us what what a wellness coach is, first of all, because maybe
Okay.
some of us are not
So,
aware, and other people who watch here. So what that is, and then we can
so
take it from there.
wellness is a concept of living your best life, being your best self, being healthy. My wellness journey started 3 years ago. I was tired all the time. I was living on processed foods and caffeine and sugar and not sleeping and just, walking into rooms and not remembering why, because the brain fog was so immense. So I
Yeah.
started to change my nutrition, and I started intermittent fasting, and I started eating no processed. I cut out, a lot of bad things. I started shopping the aisles of the grocery store where the fresh food were. And I started seeing a shift in a week. And so
Wow.
all of a sudden I had energy and I slept, and I walked into rooms and remembered why. That was huge. You know, I work at home. So my day starts with a protein shake that gives me the purest micros and macros that I need for the day. And that's like my one step. Now I eat a lot of food, but for fusion with me, sometimes it's a fusion in a smoothie where you put things in a smoothie that you would never think about, like you would put kale in it, or maybe, you know, maybe you're going to put kiwi or apple or banana or coconut or flaxseed. There's all these things you can throw in there that you're not thinking of, and it's not from like a processed angle. Then when you eat dinner, you know, getting rid of the starchy potatoes and boxed things. And if they have a ton of ingredients that you can't read, don't eat it. You know, a vegetable does not have a list of ingredients. But it's also like our environment. You know, I'm in my 50s. When my parents ate vegetables, they had 14 times the nutritional value they have today.
And also, I mean,
Fantastic.
I will come back to you. I'll come back to you, Cathy, on, you know, I know you do these meal preps, and you know, and I'd like to sort of like let our viewers know what are some of the examples of the dishes that, you know, you prepare. But if I can go back to Shahid, you know, what are some examples of fusion dishes that you've done? And also, if you can just talk us through your journey of this fusion kitchen, and then, you know, Sharif can, I'm sure Sharif will
elaborate on that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Butt in or poke in somehow. But yes, so Shahid, if you can tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, of course. Well,
your journey of this fusion kitchen, what is all of that about?
Right. First of all, just to clear the air for our viewers. Now, everybody's most probably wondering what Fusion Kitchen is. Now, this is a show which is a concept and by Sharif Islam, my anchorman. Now, Fusion Kitchen is aired on Sky TV every Sunday at 8 o'clock. Now, we went through great lengths and great depths in executing this show. And it's been fantastic working with Sharif and the crew behind it to make it successful. Now, Fusion Kitchen was something that was approached by Sharif to me, right? Which basically entwines a Mediterranean world food with our cultural, traditional, authentic food, right? So that's what Fusion Kitchen is about. So we'll create
when you say cultural, what country are you talking about here?
Yes.
Well, when we say cultural, obviously we're Bangladesh origination, and we've grew up with our parents, you know, and even in Bangladesh in the villages with so much vibrant, you know, spices, abundance in these, you know, food, and you know, in its luscious, what shall I say?
Bangladesh is all about food, isn't it?
Yeah,
food, I mean, look,
organic vegetables and everything. And that
it's known for its greenery, isn't it? The green land, yes. Okay.
And that's the mindset itself. So you have to grow
any invitation, any you know, Bangladeshi wedding, it's all about food. What else do we do in a Bangladeshi wedding? Other cultural weddings, other weddings from other cultures, you got singing and dancing and, you know, a lot of other stuff. But our main entertainment would be would be the food.
I think Cathy might, Cathy, I don't know if Cathy, if where you are, you know, how much is food loved
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, which is a foodie paradise. We have several really great chefs, and a lot of them use the farm to table concept. So they use local eggs, they use local seafood, they use local, there's a place called Holy City Hogs that raises pigs, you know, for that. They have smokehouses. You know, people are very serious about their barbecue and their brisket.
Wow. Sorry, Sharif said something there.
No, I just said Holy City Hogs. You know, that's such a catchy.
Hog roast is a very fashion and in trend in the UK now, right? It's amazing. Anyway, coming back, shall I take the platform again? Coming back to food. So Fusion Kitchen is a TV cooking show. My anchorman Sharif, right? And he gets me
Watch
to
it,
basically
Cathy.
mix and
If you
match
got Sky
and
TV channel
create a
781.
fusion. Yes,
I'm going to get it.
every
Yeah.
Sunday.
If you got
Okay.
Sky TV, it's channel 781. Now the concept. Sorry to butt in. As
Yeah, no.
Sabia
You
mentioned, I will butt
carry
in.
on. We need addition,
Mm.
and don't forget
So
the YouTube channel on it as well.
Well, Sharif,
yeah.
okay, you're going to tell us about
Can
this
I just take you
fusion
through the
concept.
journey first? Can I take you through the
Yes,
journey of Fusion
Please.
Kitchen? Right. So the
Yeah.
way it
yeah, do
started
add on.
off was,
Mm.
I'm also a restaurateur. So I mean, from the age of 15, my background has been, sort of been in restaurant, because we got a couple of restaurants in Ealing, West London, and my brother runs it. So I used to go to school, and then I used to come home from school in the weekends, and I used to go, and work for my brother. It's a family business, so I used to work for him in the weekend. So that's how I learned the restaurant trade. So in between, I studied construction. I did a mortgage consultancy, so many other things. But my love and passion for the restaurant industry still remained. So at the age of 30 or something, I mean, in between, I've done takeaways and restaurants and stuff like that, in and out. But 2011, I went into the very vibrant, sort of very authentic area for Bangladeshis, which is Whitechapel, East London. And then I opened up a restaurant called Feast and Mishti. Feast, which is, have a feast, and then Mishti is the dessert. So, they both go hand in hand. Now, after a few years, the TV channels, we had a lot of good friends, very much connected with all the Asian TV channels myself. So they used to come and they said, Sharif bhai, you speak good English, so we want a show from you. So I started off with a show called The Entrepreneur, which is on TV. If you YouTube it, you can see all these shows, by the way. And then a couple of years later, I came up with the concept, and I approached them.
Yeah, sorry, Sharif. So you started off with the Feast and Mishti, which is really like the traditional Bangladeshi dishes. Like, which is made, in the
very
home.
traditional,
Yes.
So it's village
So
food, very much village food. What you will get when you go to the rural parts of Bangladesh, right? And you will get that kind of, like the bortas, the chutneys, and all that kind of stuff. So these are all very much village food.
Yes, I'm just wondering if Cathy is,
aware.
following that, this Feast and Mishti that Sharif is talking about. Although that's his restaurant, it's the cuisine really is that traditional Bangladeshi dishes, and all home cooked. Which I think your appreciation in South Carolina, where you say everyone uses organic, homegrown produce, from the local place. It's sort of like works in alignment, doesn't it? That
it definitely
from
is.
where you are.
And
we
had a vlogger from the USA. We had a vlogger. He landed in the airport Heathrow, and he came straight to Whitechapel, and he came to Feast and Mishti, and he did a vlog. It's a good half-an-hour vlog, by the way. If you watch it, I forgot the name. We got millions of viewers, and he tried the shukki chutney, and he was like, sweat was coming out of his head, and it was really, really spicy. But he tried everything.
Sorry, what
country
was he from then, Sharif?
From the USA. I think he was from New York. New York.
He's not Bangladeshi then.
No. He's an American guy. He came down and he did a vlog, and he's a vlogger. He's got millions of viewers, right? Subscribers. I'll when I find the name next time, I can tell you. I forgot his name right now, but famous guy.
I think what it sounds like is obviously if you can take spicy foods, and I'm just thinking of Cathy here right now. Depending on how spicy you can take it, Cathy. Places like where Sharif has, makes up the food. There are some very, very hot chilies. I don't know if you're aware of that. If you love the food, like that, then that's the place to go, I suppose.
We do mild stuff as well, just to let you know, not to scare Cathy away. Next time you're in the UK.
No, I like a little heat. Now, my one daughter, she would be all in for as much heat as you could add to it. So that the more would be the better. But we could add any of that. One of my favorite tacos to make, talking about fusion, is a butternut
Mexican.
squash and black bean taco.
That's
Wow.
nice.
Oh, I love using butternut
Yeah.
squash.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
me
nice.
too.
Yeah.
The natural sweetness that
Let me
comes from
just
it.
say, you know, look, the thing is, we're talking about fusion food here, and the show is called Fusion
And the
Kitchen, and we,
adventures, and the adventures
yeah,
that we, we
it's all
have with
about
it, and how it brings people together,
yeah. So what we wanted to do was, I mean, fusion cuisine is basically what combines elements of different, you know, culinary traditions and stuff like that, and it's just categorized according to any particular cuisine. It could be, and basically what it is you just get a few delicacies from a few countries, from a few different countries, and you mix it all up. And by doing that, what chefs can actually do is make something so unique, then they would not have any other competitors because they know what they're doing. Do you understand? You're mixing stuff up, right? And as long as it tastes good, okay, and you have the right ingredients, just like I said, the right ingredients, and it's edible, obviously, and you know, it just takes
we hope
it just
so.
goes that
Very
mile.
important.
It just goes that mile, you know, mile long, if you like. But that's what it is. That's what Fusion Kitchen is about. But the main thing is, it's going to be unique.
Sharif,
Other
I have
people,
to stop you there. It can't
Yeah.
just be, you can't just think it's edible. It has to be edible. Otherwise, you won't get somebody like me being your
I'll just throw
co-host
that
and
in.
the chef.
I'll just throw. I just thought I'll throw that in.
I think, Cathy, I mean, from listening to these two Shahs here, I think it not only has to be edible, but it has to taste,
It has to
smell,
Oh,
Yeah.
good. And do you know when it tastes even better? I don't know about you all, but my own opinion is when something looks good, it's got to look good to the eyes. It's got to
yes.
taste
Yeah.
good to the mouth.
Colors. We need colors, different
Yeah.
colors. They're very healthy.
Colors.
You know, the red,
Well,
the green, the yellows, and all the. This is why we, you know, if you think about why vegetables and, you know, different fruits and vegetables, they come in different colors, different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a significance there. They just don't come in different colors and different shapes for no reason. There is actually a significance there,
of
and
course,
it's
they all
you know,
have different nutritional values.
They do.
But anyway,
Absolutely.
adding on to that,
Absolutely.
obviously going back to you, Sabia, first of all, your eyes, your presentation is so important. So if you can get that
Yeah.
bit right, you've gone through the first hurdle. Then your nostalgical smell. You pass that, then you're on your final stage. Then it's your taste buds. You get that right, and we thrive on. Oops.
Okay, that's not very good,
Sorry
Shahid.
about that. No. This is.
I think
all
someone
our
wants to
pros
know
are
about
easy.
your fusion food.
But anyway, coming back to the fusion, am I on? Coming back to the fusion food. I
Yes,
mean,
the
it's really
fusion
nice
show
to have
this is.
Cathy on board because on Wealth and Wellbeing, because like I
Well,
say,
we're having so much adventure and fun, guys. We are like really ticking for time. But yes,
right.
you were
So I'll
saying,
do
Can I
Shahid.
just
Sharif, let me before it just goes off my head. I know because obviously you're a
Let him
distraction
finish.
to me. I know you're a handsome guy, right? And you're my man, yeah. But
Thank you.
just before it goes. So when I started this health and wellbeing journey, I started my own YouTube channel called I Love Shah's Kitchen. So you asked me about my adventure. So
Yes.
just like with Cathy 3 years ago, where she was into processed food and so much, right, that she wanted to do something
50
about it. Same
pounds
thing.
heavier, too.
Yeah. So just over a year ago, where my mental health and well-being was at a very low pivotal point, so I decided, right, what can I do to change that round? Now, I love cooking. I'm a chef by trade as well. I'm a restaurateur as well. Now I thought, okay, now I don't want to involve my businesses in there because it's about me. When it comes to health and well-being, it's about you as the individual,
Yes.
right? Everything around you, business, entrepreneurship, or your profession, this is just a attachment to your lifestyle. But health and well-being is you as a human being. Now, that affected my health and well-being, everything. So I thought I need to get that right in order to be a competitive entrepreneur or a professional guy or a community member, right? So
that's important,
I thought, right.
yeah.
What's holding me back? What's holding me back? Now I came up, right? Fine. What do I enjoy doing? Right. First of all, I love cooking.
Cooking.
Right. I love cooking for
Me too.
people, and I love people around me. three key vital things in
I
my
love
life,
eating.
which has always been since I've been. Oh
too.
yeah, I love eating, right? But
Me
anyway,
too.
so I thought, okay, right, I'm going to change my life around and see how I can change my negativity into positivity. So I started to use my own kitchen in my own house because I didn't want to promote my professionalism in any way whatsoever, right? Because that I see as a profession I get paid for, entrepreneur, businessman, whatever, right? But in the house, that doesn't cost me anything. That costs me my family time. It's about my health and well-being. So I started to use my kitchen, got myself a tripod, a nice little phone where I can get good quality videos, and I start cooking. Now, I love organic food. I like working with different variety types of food. So I started off with one of my first ever vlogs was with bitter gourd. Now, going on to its nutritional values, it's got like over 32 nutritional values, right? It's unbelievable. So I started to explore and not only that, analyze and educate, because I wanted to educate people, not just about eating food, is understanding the food that we're eating. Like Sharif said, why they come in different colors, what is nutritional values, you know, like avocado, you know, you have to have a quiet taste, but it's a superfood. You know, I've turned my diet around. I'm on ginger, right? That's got a lot of nutritional values, and it's been used in Asian medicine for a long, long time. Black seed. So I tend to verify, but it's very important that we understand our food. But our food sometimes is who we
Tell
are.
us about the
and
Shah's.
what
Tell us
our-
about
our
Shah's
role is.
raw and natural self. So you did that,
Right.
and I saw his show. I saw the show
Yeah.
because he's gonna carry. I'm
Okay.
telling you, you're gonna need another
Okay, I'll
hour
be very
if
quick.
you let him put all the details, right?
Sharif, I'll be
Can
very
I?
quick. What happened?
Okay.
I suddenly
Well,
went
let
on.
Shahid finish on that, and
Yep.
then we'll go to
So my
Cathy.
adventure
You
started
got
on
2
my health
seconds.
and well-being, right?
2 seconds, just like
I
you do your
started
cooking.
and I started putting things
Yeah.
in, and I called it my raw natural self because it was all about me making mistakes. That wasn't a problem. Doing the best out of myself wasn't a problem. And
And
by
who's the guy that
default,
saw you? Who's the guy
right?
that
But
watched the
anyway,
video?
Sharif and I went to Saudi Arabia with our families. We did not know each other 3 years ago, right?
Wow.
And in these 3 years, we've built a
So
bond
that's
that
where
we've
their
known.
love story started.
Yeah, our love story
Yeah.
started. It feels like it's been a diamond jubilee now with us, right?
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, it's been great. Our children and his children got on very well. His wife,
Well,
my
just
wife,
see
got on really well.
how food
And
got
Sharif
you
and
both
I got on
together.
really well. Yep.
Yeah.
And when we came back,
And that's why the global warming started and the world
right?
died. But anyway.
And then when I started
So-
my YouTube channel, Sharif saw this and he goes, "I need to see you." Right? I go, "We need to." So I went in, and we were sharing each other's, joys and sorrows. And you know what? Sharif goes, "Look, I've got this project here, and I've had it for a couple of years. Right? I want you to be part of this show." I said, "That's not me. I'm not an actor." Right? He goes, "You're a chef." I go, "So to be on TV, you have to be an actor." He goes, No, I'll do that." And you know what? He's such a strong mentor that he was able to convince me, because I don't get easily convinced, and I don't fall into people's trap very easily.
Yes, no. So that's where he recognized your
Can I
love
just
for
butt in?
food.
Can I just butt
From
in?
my I Love
And,
Fast Kitchen YouTube channel.
Definitely,
definitely.
Sorry, Cathy. Cathy's with us from very, very far away, and I just want to thank you for joining. So no, Sabia, let me just say a few things here, right? So this is where I watched his show.
You've got literally 2 minutes, Sharif, and then
you got to extend the show. You got to extend the show. You got to extend the time. This is not. We're having so much fun here, right? Yeah, but listen, okay, so this is what Shahid was doing. Shahid was doing his raw and natural self, and I remember what he said about his, in his pivotal, his very low point in his life because he had some family problems and all that, and he was depressed. And I said, look, this is the only way to get out of it. All right, you got to get when we're in this situation. When we're in a situation like this, we got to keep ourselves busy. We got to do things. Do you understand? So, Shahid being a friend, I said, look, this is what we got to do. I've got a project. I've got a show that we want to work on, and you got to work on it. So that's where we started, and we had to find the kitchen. Cathy, do see our show. It's called Fusion Kitchen. It's on YouTube, so you can go on YouTube and you can say Fusion Kitchen episode 1, 2, and 3. By the way, this is our first ever cooking show.
You have to put TV1 781.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our first ever cooking show, so it might not be. It's better than all the other cooking shows that are on Bengali channels, but it might not be as better, good as the BBC and the American ones, but we're learning.
For once, I agree with you, Sharif.
Well, we're
Okay,
learning. No, we're learning. It's good.
guys,
It's good, but we're learning. But then,
guys, can I get Cathy in this now? Okay,
I
right.
want to know, is there show all of this
Right.
back
So,
and forth?
Cathy,
'Cause-
can you see the passion in these
oh,
two guys? The passion
oh yeah,
about
yeah.
the fusion
I
food,
love it.
and you know, I will pass you on the details of this fusion kitchen that they're talking about. But can I briefly now? I know we're coming to the end of our show, and we need to make sure our viewers, you know, I mean, they won't, you know, sit down more than half an hour, but we've reached over half an hour because we're having too much fun. Everyone's having a great time. But
They
if
will.
I
They
can
will.
get,
Don't worry. They'll watch
if
us.
I can get
To follow
Cathy
you
to,
two, yes.
yes, if you can bring in about, you know, the wellness part of it, you know, how, you know, you can tell us the environment that you're in, the mood that you could be in, and what
Yes.
kinds of foods brings out the best in you, you know, and what kind
Yeah.
of adventures does that lead to?
Yeah, well, good food can make you feel better. There are foods that are proven to be high in antioxidants. They can bring down inflammation. And I mean, as in my country, there's so much disease, and people tend to
Mm.
want a pill to fix it instead of fixing their diet, which could fix so much. Just to name one
Definitely.
spice, turmeric.
Mm.
Turmeric is
Yeah.
proven to bring down
Turmeric,
inflammation.
yeah, ginger,
And
lemon,
ginger
yeah.
More
root.
antioxidants.
But
Yeah.
yet people shy away from that because they're scared to cook with it because they never tried it. What's the worst thing that could happen is you make a dish and it looks good, but it doesn't taste too good. Oh, well, try
Mm.
again.
And Cathy, am I right in saying it also boosts your immune system up?
You
Something
do.
that's
And
high in
antioxidants,
antioxidants.
like, you know, if you do nothing else, eat some blueberries every day. They are proven the antioxidants in those alone. And instead of grabbing a bag of chips, you know, grab some fruit, grab some
Yeah,
vegetables, because
definitely.
our
Especially
soils
in
are
this time.
nutritionally bankrupt compared to, you know,
Yeah.
50 years
Mm.
ago. So,
Exactly.
and you need good protein. You know, I also practice a form of intermittent fasting. It's called cleansing. It's not that kind of cleanse, but it cleans your lymphatic system. It gets rid of the toxins that we breathe, you know, the
Mm.
makeup that we put on our face, the flame retardant pillows that we lay on every night, the air we breathe. So food is a way that you can heal your body from within. And it's, if you start eating the right nutrition, it's like putting
Definitely.
a light switch on.
Mm.
Boom. All of a
You know,
sudden, feelings
there is a
better.
saying.
True education is important.
It
Of
is.
There
course.
is a
Yes.
saying, Shahid. There is a saying that you are what you eat. So
And
you
you
know,
are.
if you eat good food, you will be that. Now, let me just mention, because I've
Well,
got
you'll be in a good mood as well, wouldn't
Good
you?
mood.
definitely, and
Your
what you
skin will
talked
look
about
better.
there, antioxidants, and you know, all, even carbs, right? If it's good essential carbs, if
We
it's
need
good
carbs.
fats, okay, even if it's good fats like the
Yes.
omega 3s and the 6s and stuff like that, all these fats, even it's very essential. So, and the reason I'm saying it, and when we talk about the show, it's a good thing because I've got a background on fitness and nutrition. So, you know, about 20 years ago, I did level 1 and 2 in fitness and nutrition. Even now, I train a few people. So I am a PT personal trainer, but that's because it's just a hobby. It's a hobby, but yeah, I do get paid for it. But what I'm saying is, when you know about food, it is very, very important, and it helps you throughout your day. If you know what to have in breakfast, if you know
Yes.
what to have at lunchtime, if you know what to have before you sleep, okay, even the midnight snacks, right? So if you
Everything in
know the
balance.
right, I mean,
Yeah.
I get peckish. Yeah, I get peckish. You know, in the middle of the night, sometimes I wake up. But what I do is I have a bit of, you know, fat-free yogurt and you know, what do you call
Do you
the
create
name?
a little
Not coming to.
fusion dish in the middle of for the
Of the
midnight
night.
snack? Maybe.
That's
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
calls me
yeah.
at
So
2 o'clock in the morning.
We need
So,
a camera in
Shahid,
your
can you
kitchen
please
at
spruce
night.
up a little
granola, you know,
fusion?
granola seeds and stuff like that. You put a little bit of that. Yeah, granola. You put a little bit of that on a fat fruit yogurt, right? It's better than having any, you know, processed snacks and stuff like
Flax.
that. So it's absolutely fantastic when you have that. So it's all about
A
knowledge.
bar of
It's
Mars
all
bars.
about what you know. Yes,
Yes.
not Mars bars or Snickers.
Yes.
I do love
No,
one of
no.
those once
Or
in a while. Cheat
Oreos
days, on
or
my
yeah.
cheat days.
I
Yeah,
think it's all in proportion,
It
in
is.
balance, that we need
yeah.
certain amounts of sugars, you know, and you know, finding the right goodness from the green leafy vegetables that Shahid told us about. I know we're having so much fun, guys. I mean, we have spoken about, you know, how we're
By the way,
mixing different.
sorry, Sabia. Sorry, Sabi,
What's that?
I've got to interrupt.
Go
Right?
on.
When you talk about
He's
fusion
gonna
food,
fall off
right?
his
Now
chair
listen.
if I don't.
No,
When
listen to
when
this.
did you stop
Fusion food. Now we know sometimes two different traditions, when they mix together, they don't go hand in hand. Do you understand? So you can't really
It's
have a
knowing how
Chinese
to.
curry.
It's knowing how to. Yes.
It's knowing how to, yeah. So for example, on the show we made Italian dishes infused with Bangladeshi dishes. We made, Arabic items infused with sort of Indian or Spanish, but it all went hand in hand. Like for example, I'll mention a capriccia salad. What we made, a capriccia salad, well, Shahid made it, and he did a fantastic job. And then we had with it a king prawn, sort of, what was it, a boona or a lobster style stuff, right? We had,
there's so
so
many
the
dishes.
salad.
You made me work.
Yum.
Yeah, the salad. What it did was
Brilliant.
the salad complemented something which was from
The
a
main
completely
course.
different country. Normally
So
Italian.
can
I mean, who's gonna have curry with pizza? You're not, are you? But if you know what to do with it,
Well, look,
if you
in
know,
Europe, that we've now got curried chips. What that was
yeah,
nobody heard about that probably 10 years ago, but now we have curried
uh,
chips.
fish and
What
chips.
I'm
Fish
going
and chips was the
yes,
traditional food of
curried chips,
in
yes.
the UK. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we are getting pushed for time. I want you guys for each one of you to name me one fusion food each.
Okay.
Starting with Shahid.
Well,
Go on then,
my
Shahid. You
fusion
start.
food would have
You
been
start off with it.
my batera, which was on episode 3. So guys, tune in onto TV1 Sky
What is
781.
patera? Sorry, can you tell
Right,
us? Tell
batera
us
is a quail, right? It's a quail, a bird, right?
It's a
And
bird.
it was infused with Guan spices, and it had the Bangladeshi touch to it because quail is very popular as a delicacy in Bangladesh.
Okay.
Because it's not everyday thing, and
Brilliant.
it was served with aromatic pilau rice, which is across the sub-Asian continent everywhere you can find.
Sounds great. Cathy, one fusion dish from you.
Okay. I shared on LinkedIn. I like to share a meal on Sundays, and I shared a bruschetta salmon, which was fabulous. You grilled the salmon and you made an Italian bruschetta and put it on top, and it just melded the flavors.
Brilliant. Excellent. Sharif, one fusion dish from
I would
you.
say I'll mention two. First one would be Boona chicken in tacos. It's a Mexican item, but you got the Boona chicken with a bit of cheese and all that, right? But it's got to be very dry. The chicken's got to be very dry, meaning the sauce is got to be very thick so it doesn't run down. But it's going to be like a sandwich, and it's very, very crunchy, right? The other one, I don't know if you can picture it. It's a noodle burger. Okay. So you will have the buns, instead of it being bread buns, it will be made of sort of noodles, but they will be stuck together. Do you understand? So they will be stuck together, and in the middle you will have a burger which is made out of vegetables. So the right nutrition's there, and a little bit of salad, and instead of the buns you will have a noodle bun on the top and a noodle bun on the middle, and it's crunchy.
Oh,
you got to try it. This is something that we're going to do in season 2.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Season 2 of Fusion Kitchen. Season 2. We got 11 episodes in this one. We were supposed to do 13, but we got 11.
Well, no, yeah, it's actually 13.
But
there's a 2 squashed in 1.
Okay, right. So, but 11 times they will be showing, and on the next show we got to get Cathy. We got to get Cathy, and we've got to get SABIA to come as guests. By the way, we have guests right at the end. So let us know.
Cathy, yes.
Cathy, if you visit the UK, if you visit the UK, we'll just do a little bit of filming with regards to sort of when the guests come in and everything, and you're tasting the food. We'll do that somehow. It depending on what time of the year you're going to come in. But
there you go.
Samuel's definitely coming.
Cathy, you've got a reason to come down to London.
Cathy, you've got an invitation.
I'm dying to travel again.
So this is how food is bringing different cultures, different countries, different people together, and different types of food together. Sadly, we are coming to the end of our show. I'm sure our viewers are probably wondering, oh my gosh, all this fusion food dishes that all three of you have mentioned. It's just mouth-watering, because what you've just described, you've described something like, if I can just say, like putting a noodle with curry, or putting a bird with some Bangladeshi green leafy vegetable, and you've created something. Sure, it looks good. Now, unless we taste it, for us it will be like a foreign taste. So unless we taste it, we won't know. But what I've learned, and I'm sure our viewers have learned, is that we've discovered that how food can put us in different moods and different kind of health state, mentally, physically, So just last few words from yourself, Cathy, Sharif, and Shahid. So if I can start with Cathy, and then if we can just wrap up, that would be great.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's all about food. It's just as important what you put in your body as what you don't put in your body. So start thinking more about what you eat and try to have fun with it. Make your plate an artwork.
Brilliant. Thank you. And that is looking beyond the beige from the food. Brilliant.
Looking beyond the beige.
Definitely.
That's it. And Shahid, if I can have last.
I let my mentor go, and I'll finish it off.
No, say something. You say something quickly.
No, you carry on. You carry on.
Will.
All right. Okay. Well, fair enough, Shahid. Thank you. But I'm just gonna say I'm coming out with this new dish, or it's not a new dish. It's actually a snack thing. What we're gonna do in front of Feast and Mishti. I'm actually making a counter area, but bagels, right? Now, bagels is something that you can walk and eat. Yeah. By the way, bagel is actually a Jewish bread. It's actually Yiddish.
Oh, yeah.
It comes from Israel, right? But now we use it, I have a bagel once a week, and I love it. And there's a place in Brick Lane, they do the best bagels. Anyway, this bagel, is, not after I start my bagel, my one's going to be the best. Now, this is going to be chicken tikka bagel with some special sauces that I'm going to make. Now, chicken tikka is Indian, right? Bagel is Yiddish or Jewish, right? And then we're going to have a few sauces that I will make myself. Everything's in the working right now. So yes, watch the space. Hopefully summertime, after I get my counter done and I have my, the cold hold and the hot hold. But this is something I think it's going to, and the sign's going to be too busy to sit and eat, then take a walk and eat. By the way, don't follow that, guys. I mean, just so nobody else copies me. But I thought it's catchy, right?
He's thinking out
catchy.
loud now. Yes.
Yeah, it's out of the box. It's thinking out of the box, and just following on to what Cathy mentioned. You are what you eat, guys. So put in your body the right stuff. Listen. Nobody knows how long we're gonna live, but as long as we do live, we can live a healthy life by eating the right stuff, the right food.
Yes, brilliant.
That's what I say.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Watch this space, everyone. Shahid.
Right. All I would like to say is, obviously, we're talking about food here, its nutritional values, how it affects our health and well-being as well. So it's not just about cooking. There's lots of art involved in it as well. Now, what I'd like to say I'm here today talking about food is because I started my journey on health and well-being. And food was a fundamental part of how I got rid of my stress by focusing on cooking. That's why I called it cooking therapy. So all I would say to our viewers out there and anybody out there that everybody has a passion and something they enjoy. So with all the negativeness around us, which does affect our mental health and well-being, it's also very important that we realize what our potential and what our joys in life are, what our passions are. And we can utilize that somehow in our own house space. We don't have to go out and don't have to have a restaurant or something. We can do it from our own little space, give ourselves some time and elaborate on that. It takes a lot of confidence, obviously, unless, you're an outgoing, bubbly person like Sharif, right? Then it's all right. But so it's very important that we find what we enjoy doing and we elaborate that and we focus on that. And you know what? It could change your life in just a year. Whoever knew I'd be doing a show with Sharif, whoever knew I'd be doing acting, whoever even knew I'd have my own YouTube channel called I Love Shah's Kitchen. I've got my own Instagram. And you know what? It's the support I get and the encouragement I get, a lot of motivation. And we need to find what motivates us. And if it's food, stick to food and make the most of it.
Yes.
Well, Shahid, I think this is what fusion food is done, and it's a great thing. So Thank you very much for that. And yes, it is the passion. You've got to have that passion for it. On that note, I want to thank all of you, my lovely guests. It's been great fun from starting, setting up to backstage. And I really do hope that we can all come on again soon and create more fusion and look beyond the beige in the food as well. So thank you again.
I like
everyone,
that. Look beyond the beige.
Thank you.
Yes, it's great, isn't it? So we've got to add color. We've got to create, some fusion. And if it means, this is what gets people together, then great. That's the way to go. So thank you again, my guest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Well, so from noodles, transversing from China to Italy via the Arabs, and Vindaloo originating from Portuguese in India. All these are, combined together to create that fusion and bring people together. The techniques that are used and the traditions of other countries are cherished and celebrated through the mixing of these different kinds of organic and local sourced items. Fusion is a powerful means of tribalism, sparking curiosity and conversations across the globe. Food is free from racism and cultural appropriation. Fusion food is popular because, according to its concepts, fusion food combines ingredients and cooking methods of not only one region, but two or more regions. Today, fusion food is popular because it offers a lot of adventures based on unique and distinctive tastes, bringing color to mainstream coloring cultures. But most importantly, it's bringing people together. Stay blessed, stay safe, and follow VodTalk.